All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Zergs, Terrans, Protoss, Orc, Human, Undead, Night Elves.
Randoms. We don't discriminate against randoms at the GSL.
Randoms are cool too, man. Welcome back, everybody, to the GSL Codas Round of 8, the quarterfinals. We've already finished one of the quarterfinals now. MVP Keen falling to Optimus, Prime, Wii, and now we're going to have Top versus Genius, and it's going to be a very interesting matchup. We're going to see a TVP. Both these, and this is kind of like the non-flashy day, man, because Top and Genius are also both players that aren't really flashy. No one says like, oh, who's the best Protoss? Oh, Genius. People don't say that, but people say, well, who's the top 10 Protoss? Well, Genius is probably in that group.
Yeah, definitely.
But you never really know what to expect, I personally didn't expect him to do as well as he has this tournament, and here he is in the quarterfinals. And
Genius.
So yeah, he surprises people.
He's really surprising. He's so unpredictable. He will do a 5-gate all-in, he'll do a Void Ray all-in, he'll do a Blinkstalker all-in, or he'll play a long macro game and just beat you with a really good composition. You never really know what to expect from this guy in PvT, and that's really scary to face him. That's what the Terrans, when they face Genius, they kind of feel, well, I don't really know. I mean, our first map is going to be Zelnaga Fortress. It's a map where, statistically, Void Ray all-ins have happened a lot. So have Blinkstalker all-in, so you have to be careful about that. I don't think we're going to see Top go for like a 1 barracks expand. That would be a very bad choice, I think, against Genius.
Yeah. And we're going to take a quick look at our players. There he is, OGS Top.
Ranked 12th? A lot of points there, 3,280.
Yeah, he actually tends to, he never, this may be, actually I'm going to have to double check, but has he gotten to the round of 8 before?
Yeah, he has.
Okay. Oh, yeah, he has. But he usually doesn't get to, the semifinals.
Yeah,
he's kind of a perennial decent player, but
usually
not
falls
not
in the
an
round of 8,
extremely
actually.
Good player.
It's kind of common for him, even doing so in the Super Tournament, I believe.
Yeah, so we can see here, he beat Alive. Lost to Alive, but beat Trickster, and then rematched Alive and won to get out of his group. Beat Xenio, pretty good Zerg, in the round of 16 to advance here to the round of 8. So, he hasn't really been tested too much. He did beat Trickster, but Trickster has not been on top of his game lately.
No,
so
definitely not.
That's interesting.
Another thing about Top to note is that he has a lot of fans here locally in Mokdong. There's a lot of fangirls that come out for Top a lot of the time here in Mokdong, so it's kind of like a local fan favorite here.
Yep. He has pretty good record versus Protoss as well, 57% win rate in his career. Not too much lately, but here is his opponent, Genius, the Protoss player, really gained a reputation by winning the first BlizzCon Invitational, I believe.
Yeah, and, Genius, back then he was kind of like the king of Protoss versus Terran. He was considered by some. I mean, beating Loner there was pretty impressive, and then he kind of had a stagnant time, but he's coming back. He's made quite an appearance. Ever since he joined MVP, he seemed to be doing better and better. And now he's all the way here. He could be making it all the way to the round of 4.
Yep, he did beat Ensnare, who, don't tell him I said this, but personally I don't consider that too much of an accomplishment.
No, yeah, I think
Ensnare,
everyone kind of
not
feels
one
that
of the
way.
top Terrans, but he did beat Ensnare, but he also beat Virus 2-1 in the round of 16. So, Virus pretty decent. I think Top better than Virus though, so this is going to be a little bit more of a challenge for Genius.
Now you can see Genius's wins versus Terran recently. He's killed a lot of them. He only losing 2 sets to Boxer and Virus. Otherwise, just beating Virus several times, 3 times there. Beating Thorzane, of course, and Top is in that list as well. Recently took out Top.
Oh, they did play recently. That's right. I forgot about that.
Interestingly enough, though, you can see Top is, or Genius is listed in the top side as well. I'm struggling to get that out there. But you can even see playing against Seed and Hongen and Shoei. That's been a while since he played against those people. So Top hasn't played against Protoss as recently as Genius has. I mean, you can even see Legal Mind in there as a player that Top has played against. It's not.
And remember, the game against Top was in the Codas group from last season. So it has been a while since that time.
Yeah. Been a while.
Been a little while. There they are right now, getting prepped for the game. Getting psyched. Now, one of the reasons we did see Genius beat Virus was he did like the last game they were tied up in the last game. They like, if I remember correctly, didn't they kind of both do all-ins and or something like that? He did a Void Ray all-in and for some reason it just basically countered exactly what
Virus
Virus had.
He barely had he had like a bunker, but he stopped repairing it for a second, then it died, and the Banshees were trying to kill, but the Void Rays just killed everything faster. It was a weird game.
Exactly.
I think it was on Metalopolis, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he did go Banshee, so he didn't have enough Marines or something.
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
a funky game.
It was a weird game, so he's going to have to pull out a little bit more of the stops here if he's going to beat Top. Top is going to be a little bit more prepared for stuff like that. We're going to find out here in just a moment. Xelnaga Fortress, Top versus Genius. Both these players really want to get to the semifinals and prove that they are top-class players. But which one will do it? We're going to find out in just a minute here at the GSL Code S. Alright, here is our Terran player from the team OGS. Hasn't really had his time to fly just yet. Is trying to make this tournament his time. OGS top. Trying to put his name on that list of top Terrans. I mean, he's definitely like, you know, top 7.
Go Top.
Go Top. And here is our Protoss player. Was really good really early on in Starcraft 2, is trying to show that he still has the skills. There he is, MVP Genius.
Definitely a top Protoss. Doing a lot better recently.
A top Protoss.
My life for Chung Min Soo. Oh, look at that. That is a, whoa, that's a nice little mask there. I like that.
Interesting.
Thanks to Pepsi Next, G-Skill, and Ola eBook for sponsoring this event. Now, I highly recommend you guys come down to Mokdong Studio.
Yeah.
Get some free Pepsi, meet the people here. There's a lot of foreign fans. In fact,
I love talking to the foreign fans that come on down here. It's
we
so
met
fun.
someone from the UK named Peter, and he says that his sons are watching. So I want to give a shout out to Jack, Mark, and Ben who are sitting at home watching this.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks to your dad for coming on down here.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You got an awesome dad.
And this probe's gonna, probe's gonna go back. Doesn't want to die to that Marine. That's fair enough. I guess I wouldn't want to die to a Marine either, technically.
Feels kind of silly. You're like, well, this is what my life's all about, dying to a Marine. Go! So double gas is taken by Genius. His SCV is going to see that. Chrono's going to be dropped on the core and the gateway in just a second here. Now, Factory on the way for Top, and Genius, since he's so unpredictable, I think it's very safe that Top is going to be doing this type of build because it's very difficult to all-in someone who's going to be going for double gas build, going to be teching. As long as they have a bunker up, you should be fine. Look at this, Stargate. Look at this. I told you before the game, I was talking to you, I was like, I think he's going to do this, all right? And look at this, he's doing it. I knew Genius was going to do it, man. It's Xelnaga Fortress.
Hey, can you blame him? Void Rays are pretty good.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
Man, are we going to see Top hide the starport? No, he's making a starport in his main. He's got his SCV in a weird spot over there. I don't know
and are we going to see, oh my gosh, are we going to see him go Banshees?
He may very well go Banshees.
We see a tech lab in the next couple of seconds. And
now, remember, Genius could be going Phoenix. It's entirely possible, but very unlikely.
Yeah, right. No, we'll see. We're going to find out soon, and the Stargate is completed.
Yeah, it's going to be a Void Ray.
There.
There it is.
There's the Void Ray.
So he's going to be doing a Void Ray all-in, which I predicted.
Which you did predict.
And it's Xelnaga Fortress. It's what you do on this map.
I think you even predicted it against Virus, to be honest.
Top
just what Genius does
making a medevac here. Doesn't have a bunker. He hasn't really kind of caught on to what Genius is doing yet.
And the pylon going down in the corner near Top's base so that he can start warping in units from his 3 warp gates as well to accompany the Void Ray.
The SCV is checking in the wrong direction.
Oh no.
He's checking for a proxy Stargate, but that's not actually the case here. And he's not going to see the pylon that's at the natural. He hasn't made a bunker. Not making a bunker in this case is just, that's too risky, Top. You can't just not make a bunker, man.
Yeah,
You're playing against Genius.
At the very least, he's going to lose those 3 Void Rays. I'm sorry, lose the 3 depots at the front of his base to the Void Ray. Now he does have several Marines. He has a starport as well. He's building that bunker. Is this front door going to last long enough for that bunker to get up, though?
I don't know, man.
He actually targeted his own depot for a minute there.
A bit of a mistake. He's trying to keep the depot alive using those SCVs. A lot of sentries rather than stalkers here. There is a 3 Hellion drop going off at the same time. It's going to be hitting the main base of Genius very soon. That Viking, when the Viking comes out, it's going to really slow down this rush for Genius. In fact,
it's actually going to shut it down.
Yeah, it is. And look at this. Hellion's targeting down these probes.
Nice stalker placement. Blocks those Hellions a little bit, but it doesn't even matter. He's actually killing so many probes right now.
The Viking is out.
Viking is out. He needs to make sure he doesn't lose it. Simul kill. But the Void Ray goes down, which means the main power of that rush has been shut down. And suddenly Genius, his rush didn't work. He did get an expansion up, but
yeah, here's the thing. Like I know a lot of you guys watching are like, "Whoa, Wolf, you said it was going to be an all-in. He made a Nexus." I'm like, well, I don't think he's going to hold off the next attack of Top. And in fact, Top is going to make another barracks here. He's just going to keep rallying units. He's going to hit a timing, and Genius most likely will not hold. Medevacs are already out.
Well, he does have the sentries. He saved the sentries.
He did save the sentries.
So actually, if he makes a couple rounds of stalkers, I could see him, if he has good force fields, I can see him holding it.
It's entirely possible, yeah.
He did make another Void Ray. Now he's making a second other Void Ray. So he's not done with Void Rays.
He's not done with Void Rays. He hasn't quit that just yet.
He hasn't quit.
MVP coach didn't ask him to quit after this, so he's going to say, no, you can't do it.
Did not go cold turkey. Void
yeah,
Rays.
it's very difficult to go cold turkey for Void Rays. Now, Top is researching Siege mode.
What does that even mean, cold turkey? I mean, I know it means like to stop completely, but it's like, how does cold turkey
I don't know.
represent stopping without any gradual decline?
Well, there was a time where I was trying to quit Starcraft, and sometimes I would just go, instead of like Starcraft, I would just go get some cold turkey out there. No, I never did that. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
That was my point. Doesn't make sense.
It just doesn't make sense.
Wow, he is actually making a 3rd Void Ray. I think this is pretty much all in, actually. He's basically just, he's making a robo.
SCV is being pulled here for Top, bringing a lot of Marines. Remember, he doesn't have stim. He's getting combat shields. Tank's going to pop out here to help, but these Void Rays are really going to come into play. What's really important is going to be the siege tanks. If he can kill the sentries safely and then engage with his Marines, he should be able to crush Genius. But if he gets too excited and attacks now without siege mode, which it looks like he's going to do, the sentries might be enough. He's got 4 sentries with basically full energy. Siege mode is done.
Yeah, and Top is actually leapfrogging his siege tanks so he doesn't get caught unsieged. He's building a bunker as well.
Yeah, I like this because the Void Rays are going to do so much damage if he's not careful. With bunkers, though, the Void Rays are basically virtually useless.
Yeah, I mean, if he force fields well, he could target down the bunker, but he's going to actually step the bunkers up, going with some tiered defenses here on this attack. Now,
Top gonna start to poke. Guardian Shield's up. The close bunker isn't done yet. Void Ray doing some damage to the Viking over here. Point defense run goes down. And I don't know, it's really hard to see. The Marines aren't in the bunker. Now some of the Marines getting in there, and the siege tanks doing a lot of damage, but the Void Rays are charged. The bunker's going to fall here. It looks like Genius may just hold this.
Wow. Genius is definitely going to hold it with these Void Rays.
Oh,
well, actually, some more Marines coming in, but yeah, it's just not going to be enough.
Yeah, there's too many Zealots here, and it looks like Genius is going to push this attack back. Point defense run goes down. The tank's going down. Now Genius has a Nexus.
Wow.
4 Void Rays, and he's going to be able to counterattack. Top's got nothing.
Top has absolutely nothing, man. And yeah, he tried to target down the Void Ray with all of his Marines and took a lot of damage from the ground units and didn't actually kill the Void Ray, stopped targeting it. Because he's like, oh no, I'm getting killed by all these ground units. I need to target them instead and just let the Void Rays pound on him.
Yeah, once he got those bunkers down, he was completely fine.
And yeah,
Marines.
I think he got a little bit too greedy there. Like you said, the bunkers weren't even complete at the beginning of that battle. If they had been, it would have been a different story.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he didn't put his Marines in the bunker right away. He just kind of let most of them die. There were 2 bunkers finished, and one of them wasn't being used. Well, now, Genius is all in, ended up turning into, he just backed up and made a Nexus and held off Top's timing attack, and now he's in a great position from here.
Yeah.
He's getting +1 weapons for his air.
Now, Terrans are very good at defense. You have your siege tanks, you can defend against ground units pretty easily. You can build bunkers. So it looks like Top, he's going to do a little bit of harassment. He's just going to have to depend on being defensive and trying to get back in this game in the long term, because he's really behind right now. And little prods like that are exactly what's going to get him back into the game in the long term, but he's just so behind at this point. +1 weapons being researched, so those 5 Void Rays are going to do so much more damage.
Now, if you look at the natural of Top, you guys are going to shot in a second, he's positioned his units to defend a command center that isn't there. And he's just kind of trying to decide, can I commit the 400 mils to a command center right now? And every time Genius moves any of his units, he's like, no, I can't do it. If he attacks, I'll die. Whereas he's losing so much mining time. Yeah,
well, I mean, he's actually getting low in his main. If this lasts too much longer, he can just float his main to his natural anyway.
That's true, I guess.
But that'll be a few minutes yet. But yeah, man, he's up against the wall. He really can't afford to spend 400 minerals on not units right now. So many Void Rays. I think he has 6 out now.
I think he's just going to pull, he's pulling a bunch of SCVs. He's going to go for another attack.
7th Void Ray going right now. This is actually just going to be disgusting.
He's got Stim, though. And he does have those medevacs that are going to help out pretty nicely, but the problem is there's just so many Zealots.
If he can maybe get, well, I was going to say Point Defense Drone might help, but he's only got like 5 Stalkers, so the Point Defense Drone won't really help too much.
Oh, he's going to drop at the back. If he can draw the forces back with the drop and then attack, that would be very strong. It looks like it's not his intent. He's just going to go for it here. I don't think this is going to work. There's way too many units.
He does, he steps in, he's going right for the Void Rays. No, he doesn't target the Void Rays down, and all of his Marines just get slaughtered with the force fields trapping them against the Zealots. None of the Void Rays even taking any shield damage. They just charge up and own everything. And these Marines from the drop. GG! Coming from Top.
Wow.
Hey man, Void Rays are pretty good.
Void Rays are pretty good. That's why I wouldn't go cold turkey on them. But I gotta say, saving those sentries was really smart, and Top just wasn't patient enough. He actually should have won that game. He should have won that game with his attack, but he just wasn't patient enough.
Oh, I'm gonna make my second bunker before my first one's even complete.
Yeah, and then I'm
gonna go in with 2 siege tanks instead of 4.
He attacked with his SCVs at the Nexus. He poked at it. He was like, I'm gonna pull all my force up just so that maybe I can get force field and get trapped. So,
at first I thought it was being really patient. He's like, I'm gonna leapfrog my siege tanks so I don't get caught on siege. I'm gonna build a bunker first, and then I'm gonna build another bunker, and then I'm just gonna move everything before I'm set up right.
Yeah, it was really weird. He got too excited.
Well, I mean, Genius did come out. I should be fair. Genius did come out and meet him before he was fully set up, but I don't know.
He could have had the last bunker that was building should have been done before he poked. He poked, and Genius said, okay, let's go, and he put his Guardian shield up, and they went. But if Top had that bunker up, and if he put his other Marines in the other bunker, and he would have been fine. Plus, another siege tank would have come, and things would have just snowballed in his favor. And that's what I was saying. Genius won't hold this counterattack. It was just basically Top failing, mis-microing, and that's why he held it.
And imagine if he hadn't lost that Viking.
Yeah.
If he had a Viking in that battle, that would have been so much better, because then, we saw the Viking go down because he just didn't have any support units, and he could just kill it off, basically. And, Void Rays can chase Vikings okay. They can kite, though, but if you have Marines, you can just, run back, and the Void Ray can't chase the Viking because then they'll just die to the Marines.
Exactly.
So if he'd had that Viking early, maybe, or maybe he needed another Viking instead of medevacs, extra medevacs, might have gone differently. I don't know, man. But at the end of the day, Void Ray wins game 1. I mean, Genius wins game 1.
Well, we've got another small map coming out here, dual site.
Yeah.
This is another popular map for that build. I don't think we'll see it twice, but it's entirely possible. Now, remember, Genius got here off of Void Ray All-In. He won a game with the Void Ray All-In to get here, and, he's good at doing them.
He's good at doing them, man.
He didn't win this past game with the Void Ray All-In, but it set him up for victory.
Indeed.
Top's mistake, though, really was Genius's victory.
Indeed. Top's mistake was Genius's victory. It sounds epic.
Well, Top...
Speaking of epic...
Yeah, will Top make another mistake here, and will Genius lead 2-0, or will Top tie it up 1-1 here on Dual Sight? Let's find out. The GSL Codes. I am Wolf, and with me is Moletrap. Let's jump into the game.